Hello and welcome back to 21st Century Dating Decoded, the official podcast of Speed Mingle, where we dissect the modern romance landscape and help you navigate the complexities of finding a connection in the digital age. I'm your host, Don, and today we're diving into a seismic shift in how singles are approaching dating. In our last episode, we discussed the swipe fatigue and the increasing disillusionment with endless digital scrolling. But what happens when that fatigue turns into an actual movement? Today's episode topic: the Great Exodus. Singles reject digital platforms for direct engagement. We're seeing a fascinating trend where more and more singles are deleting the apps and prioritizing real-world face-to-face interactions. They are choosing to meet people organically, at events, through friends, and yes, at speed mingling gatherings. This isn't just a minor fluctuation. It's a profound declaration that many believe the virtual connection factory is broken, and they are seeking genuine, immediate human connection. Join us as we explore why dating app subscriptions and usage are dropping in key demographics, the psychological benefits of meeting someone in person first, before the text message back and forth, how platforms like Speed Mingle are benefiting from this shift, as people actively look for structured, efficient, and direct engagement opportunities, tips for maximizing your chances of meeting someone in the wild, now that the apps are no longer the default starting point. Stay tuned, because this conversation is crucial for anyone trying to find love. The paradigm of modern interpersonal relationship formation is undergoing a profound, perhaps inevitable, restructuring. By late 2025, widespread app fatigue has reached a critical threshold, catalyzing a significant countercultural phenomenon. Individuals are not merely expressing dissatisfaction with digital platforms, they are actively disengaging from them. This substantial change is characterized by the adoption of what is colloquially termed raw dogging, an intentional commitment to navigating social life in the inherent relational vulnerability of courtship without the pervasive, yet ultimately insufficient, assurance of a digital intermediary. This provocative nomenclature denotes a complete and deliberate repudiation of the smartphone screen as an indispensable buffer. A rapidly expanding demographic is making the conscious decision to deactivate their dating profiles, driven by a compelling desire for the authenticity, immediacy, and unexpected spontaneity of genuine, in-person interactions. The algorithm's failure, the cost of commoditization. For nearly a decade, dating applications provided an undeniable degree of logistical ease, offering an extensive inventory of potential partners accessible via a simple gesture. However, this convenience incurred a substantial cost: the relentless cycle of evaluation, the emotional indifference of ghosting, and the exhausting superficiality of matches have culminated in profound societal weariness. Users consistently report a feeling of commoditization, being reduced to a collection of images and summarized attributes, and emotional depletion from the sheer volume of ephemeral, low-investment interactions. A deep-seated sense of disillusionment has taken root, fueled by algorithmic systems that, despite their technological sophistication, have consistently failed to fulfill the promise of meaningful, enduring relationships. As Sarah Chin, a 28-year-old marketing professional, stated following the deletion of her online profiles, her sentiment reflects that of millions. It felt less like dating and more akin to an auxiliary occupation. I was dedicating extensive hours to optimizing my presentation, engaging in the daily ritual of reviewing profiles, and then the obligatory communication. And what was the yield on that investment? Typically, a 2-week text exchange that invariably dissipated into nothingness. Now, I am deliberately concentrating my time on venues where people are authentically engaged in activities they value. The focus is on establishing congruence, not merely attraction. The expenditure of cognitive and emotional capital, the swipe equity accumulated over years, is now being deemed insufficient to justify the marginal returns. The raw dogging strategy, reclaiming physical space. The resultant raw dogging movement is not simply characterized by the removal of applications. It signifies a comprehensive, proactive withdrawal from the digital mediation that has governed dating norms. Singles are intentionally and strategically seeking out real-world environments that facilitate organic interpersonal connection. Speed Mingle events and activities. Speed Mingle events and activities provide a unique opportunity to meet a diverse group of people. Attendees engage in lively discussions on current topics using the specific 52+2 conversation starter game. Following the event, participants can use the Speed Mingle web app, accessible via any web browser on any device, to discreetly select the type of connection they desire, whether for friendship, dating, business, mentorship, hangouts, or casual encounters. Hobby-based meetups and active communities groups organized around shared, frequently physically demanding, interests are experiencing a massive increase in participation. This is underpinned by the principle that a common passion provides an immediate, deeper substratum for connection than a cleverly crafted biographical summary. Run clubs in particular have emerged as the unexpected focal point for effortlessly blending physical activity, social engagement, and courtship, supplanting the congested, dimly lit atmosphere of traditional bars as the preferred venue. Similarly, hiking associations, book discussion groups centered on niche genres, and volunteer organizations are seeing an influx of singles who prioritize shared intrinsic values over shared superficial aesthetics. Reclaiming the third space, everyday low-pressure locations, the conventional third spaces between the domestic and professional spheres, are being deliberately re-established as settings for spontaneous connection. Local, independently owned coffee houses, neighborhood grocers with their casual anonymity, well-curated bookstores, and community events are being utilized as low-stakes environments where direct eye contact, a shared moment of humor, or a simple remark about a product on a shelf can lead to an unforced conversation. The objective is to move the interaction out of the high-stakes intensity of a scheduled first date and into the natural trajectory of daily life. The formal mixer renaissance. Paradoxically, there is a marked resurgence of organized singles mixers and highly curated social events. These are not the awkward speed dating gatherings of the past, but sophisticated, theme-based assemblies specifically engineered to circumvent digital obfuscation and facilitate direct, face-to-face introductions. These events provide a structured yet real-world context where participants are implicitly screened for the intention of meeting someone in person. This widespread embrace of in-person, intentional strategies underscores a profound and unfulfilled demand for genuine, unmediated connection that the current digital model is fundamentally incapable of satisfying. Many participants in the Great Exodus posit that observing an individual while they are enthusiastically engaged in a valued activity, be it completing a mile or debating a work of literature, offers a far more honest, reliable, and holistic preliminary assessment than a meticulously engineered digital profile could ever furnish. The rise of raw dogging is proving to be considerably more than a temporary cultural trend. It represents a significant, deep-seated cultural realignment and a collective, emphatic rejection of digital dating exhaustion. As individuals collectively prioritize authenticity, emotional presence, and real-world engagement, the gratifying sound of athletic footwear meeting the pavement or the comforting fragrance of freshly brewed coffee may soon, and finally, supplant the cold, algorithmic notification of a new digital match. And that brings us to the end of today's deep dive into the Great Exodus. If there is one takeaway from today, it's this. The digital fatigue you are feeling isn't just you, it's a movement. We are seeing a massive shift where singles are finally reclaiming their time and demanding direct, face-to-face engagement. But knowing about the trend is one thing. Living it is another. If you are ready to close the apps and actually meet people in the real world, or even just have better conversations online, I want to invite you to join us. We have Speed Mingle events happening constantly, both in your local area and online. It is the perfect environment to practice exactly what we talked about today, an authentic, direct connection. No algorithms, just people. You can see the full schedule and grab your spot at thespeedmingle.com. Again, that is thespeedmingle.com. Please make sure you hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you are listening right now. We are building a community here, and I don't want you to miss out. Make sure you tune in next time, because we need to talk about the rise of kitten fishing. You already know about catfishing, but this is a whole different ballgame. It is all about those little exaggerations we make online. Are you accidentally deceiving your dates? We'll find out next week. So hit subscribe, check out an event at thespeedmingle.com, and I will talk to you next week. Until then, happy mingling.